The spiritual aspects of the beauty of Lifechanyuan's community life. Xiefeng. October 10, 2023. Edited by Qinyu. In the universe, there are three types of energy: material energy, spiritual energy, and soul energy. Living solely on material energy are animals and plants. Some more advanced animals like monkeys and dogs require a bit of spiritual energy. Humans, on the other hand, need both material and spiritual energy. The abundance or lack of spiritual energy is closely related to a person's quality of life and standard of life. Lives sustained by soul energy have already transcended animals, plants, and even humans, making them like godlike beings. Spiritual energy is composed of factors such as achievements, friendships, status, experiences, knowledge, reputation, wealth, and talent. An accomplishment achieved in one's life becomes a person's spiritual energy. Q often said, "My ancestors were well off, despite his own poverty and destitution." But every time he thought about his well-off ancestors, he would find great comfort in his spirit and psychology. When arguing with others, he would even glare and say, "Our ancestors were much more well-off than you. What are you?" Well-off ancestors can become a person's spiritual energy, let alone when one has achieved something themselves. Friendship is a form of spiritual energy that encompasses family bonds and social relationships. People often like to say things like, "The president of the Greater East Asia Prosperity Circle is my uncle, my brother had dinner with the President of the United States, my friend is the Minister of Energy in the Mariana Trench," and so on. Just by their connections becoming successful, they can derive it as their spiritual energy. Even without such connections, as long as one has a few close friends, a couple of acquaintances, and a few kindred spirits, these can all become a type of spiritual energy. Why do people go to great lengths to hold positions of authority and leadership? Because these positions are symbolic of status. Holding office is not merely for wealth, more importantly, it offers a form of spiritual energy. Observe someone who holds a modest position, like a minor government official. Their demeanor is noticeably different, as is their mental state. They often display a sense of superiority, especially when they are among subordinates, because an official position symbolizes one's status, which, in turn, contributes to their spiritual energy. "I've consumed more salt than you've eaten rice, and I've crossed more bridges than you've walked roads." Why do people boast about the salt they've eaten and the bridges they've crossed? Because life experience is a form of spiritual energy. Some individuals remain calm, serene, and unperturbed in their composure, unmoved even if Mount Tai were to crumble before them. It's because they possess rich knowledge. Knowledge is an internal form of spiritual energy. A PhD may feel superior to a master's graduate, and a university graduate may feel a sense of superiority over a high school graduate, all thanks to the role of knowledge. One's reputation is also a type of spiritual energy. The praises of those around you can bring satisfaction, mental upliftment, and a boost in spiritual energy. The more people praising you, the greater your spiritual energy. This is why individuals highly regard the comments others make about them. Wealth can transform into a form of spiritual energy. For instance, capitalists who have earned billions have more than enough to live on for several lifetimes. Why then would they continue striving so hard to make money? Some officials have already embezzled billions, so why not stop while they are ahead? This is because their concern is no longer just the money but the enormous spiritual energy amassed through accumulated wealth. The psychological state of someone with a little money in their pockets or bank account differs entirely from that of someone with nothing at all. Talent and aptitude can also become a form of spiritual energy. White-collar workers look down on blue-collar workers, and skilled laborers feel superior to common laborers because of their talents and skills. So, the Chanyuan Celestials, who live in the second home community, possess abundant spiritual energy. Where does their spiritual energy come from? Firstly, the pattern and realm of the Chanyuan Celestials are incomparable to ordinary people. From the perspective of ordinary people, Chanyuan Celestials may seem foolish, but from the perspective of heaven, they are like ripe seeds of paradise. What ordinary people fail to see is that Chanyuan celestials possess spiritual energy derived from accomplishments, friendships, social status, life experiences, knowledge, reputation, wealth, and talents. In terms of accomplishments, Chanyuan celestials have created an eternal legend for humankind, the second home. Regarding friendship, every Chanyuan celestial has thousands of kindred spirits. In terms of status, Chanyuan celestials are immortals. The status of an immortal surpasses the secular presidency, just as the status of humans surpasses the rank of lead cattle within a herd. Concerning life experiences, they have traveled tens of thousands of kilometers, endured numerous hardships, and built a paradise on earth in the midst of the desert and wilderness. Who else has such life experiences? In terms of knowledge, who has the richest knowledge of the greatest creator, of being human, and of being a celestial? Who has read more books without words than them? As for reputation, as time progresses and human civilization advances, the reputation held by Chanyuan celestials will eventually be known to all. Regarding wealth, to be honest, Chanyuan celestials do not possess significant wealth. However, those who have lived in a community for an extended period are generally unwilling to leave the community even if offered 1 million. Can this demonstrate that they each possess more wealth than 1 million? Regarding talent, can the most beautiful and picturesque paradise on earth in human history be created without talent and abilities? Therefore, one of the factors contributing to the beauty of community life is that Chanyuan celestials possess abundant spiritual energy.